Hello, what's up? Crypto Max, aka Zoid right here, and I'm going to be showing you off my SSRF tool. I actually made a video on YouTube that explained how I made this, but I've actually been keeping it up to date, and it's got to the point where it's actually pretty damn good. That's my DigitalOcean box there. Let's just open up a new window and go to my GitHub repository, which has my SSRF tool, and I'll show you what it actually is, what it does now. So this is the contents. It's got a README, which the README is pretty fancy. Got some two images. It's got the params file, which contains all the parameters that we can brute force. Patterns, which is like, you know, you group out the patterns for specific results in the response. Also the SSRF tool there. So here's the upcoming features. Well, these are the things that are done. So fetch endpoints from JavaScript files, brute force parameters, find SSRF in these parameters, match multiple patterns in the response. All I need to do now is check post requests and find parameters and brute force those. These are the features: Wordlist Creation, inject in every parameter one by one. That's very, very fast. Inject into paths, silent mode, fetch endpoints from JavaScript files, brute force parameters, find SSRF in these parameters, and match multiple patterns in the response. Now, just a quick note. You have to use HTTPX and HTTP or mass DNS to actually resolve the domains, because it doesn't go in the form of the subdomain. It has to be resolved in order for it to work. Let's get started. Let's just go through all these, all the GitHub then, and then we'll just install it all and use some basic commands to actually get it running. So here are the command arguments. You can append to a parameter. You can brute force parameters against endpoints to find SSRF. You've got concurrency, domains, generation. It's so comprehensive, and this is what it kind of looks like. It looks a lot better now when it actually finds something. And here's an example of how to find. That's actually an old example. I need to fix that because it actually doesn't work with that anymore. It actually works with it has names instead. So gen would have been before -g, but now it's got like names, and you can test the paths. Can be used with other tools like Subfinder and AMAS. Test parameters of wayback URLs, and so on and so on. Let's go for a very basic example. Let's get the tool first. Let's update it. I'm just going to get out of this one, and I'm going to open up a new terminal, and I'm going to install it just by typing this command. Obviously, you need Go installed, so if you don't have Go installed, you won't be able to run it. When it installs, it'll take a bit of time because it is kind of a big tool. Let's go SSRF tool now, -h, and this is the help here. So I've actually got some basic examples here to use. So this is going to be an example with wayback URLs. So it's just doing Twitter, for example. It's appending all the wayback URLs to a domains file, and it's using that domains file to find SSRF vulnerabilities in every parameter. Let's try that out. So this is what it will look like. It will first of all get all the wayback URLs, which it should take some time. So let's just let that run for a bit. It goes pretty quick. This program is really quick. Go language is a very fast language. Rust is even faster. Very low level, so it's very fast. Shouldn't take too long now. And what it should say is it's printing out. Should say it's generating stuff, and it's really cool. It's a fancy tool. I like it. Been working on it 2 days now, or 3 days maybe 3 days, 2 days, around about that. But it's going to be really cool. It's all open source. Everyone can use it and find their own SSRF vulnerabilities. It can also be used to actually, it can be used to get a connection back to your own server. So if you don't know what SSRF is where you might have a domain like Twitter, and it usually is hidden behind a firewall where all the internal servers like REST APIs, here you go, now it's working now. All the REST APIs, the ORs special instances are all behind a firewall. And what you can do is you can induce a HTTP request with specially crafted payloads, and it could access those internal services. A lot of people will just find blind SSRF where it can hit your own server and get an IP that's from internal, but that's not actually impactful. You need to actually, SSRF can be made by design. It's what you can do with SSRF that's a vulnerability. How good is that? So that's basically using wayback URLs, and it's pretty quick, so as you can see. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do a different example where I generate a word list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use get.js, and I'm going to generate my own payload, my own payloads. And I'm going to use my SSRF tool. I'm going to use gen equals true, and I'm going to use silent equals false because I don't want it to be silently outputted. That's going to generate a SSRF road list, start saving JS files for later use. So it gets all the JavaScript files, and yeah, there you go. So if I go cat ssrf.txt, should have all my endpoints. Now, if it did find or my payload, sorry. Now, if it did have some internal domains in the JavaScript, it would have saved them too for use. Alright, so with that SSRF payload, I'm going to actually I can use Subfinder, but I'm just going to use a domain now, a domains file. So SSRF tool. I'm going to use a domains file which just contains, obviously it contains all the Twitter. Actually, no, what I might do is I might just echo out twitter.com. My phone is going off crazily. Sorry about that. And what I'm going to actually just put that on quiet. It's going crazy. It's driving me nuts. Okay, so I'm going to basically check the paths for SSRF. So check paths equals true. We don't want to gen, and I'll show the brute force in a minute. That's pretty cool. So check paths. You don't want to silently output the results. We want to specify the payloads, which will be ssrf.txt that we just created. We need the patterns. So the patterns is what we're going to grep for like, if it finds something in the response is like got admin panels, or the response has got the ORs instance, then the JSON output of the metadata ORs instance, then that's a vulnerability. But it's going to just check paths for vulnerability. So actually nothing was done because I've forgotten to put some output. So I need to check paths. What else do I need to do? Just wait. Some of them are required. So what's required is a domains file, which we need to put in. So let's just echo out. Let's just move domains. We always need to put the domains file. That's just the way I worked it. Domains.txt, and let's do it now. So let's put in domains.txt. We probably don't even need to put echo. Probably just go. Okay, let's do this. It's pretty hard to use at times, but I like it. Domains paths equals true, and we want to silent equals false. Patterns and payloads. Okay, that should work now. Let's try that out. That should work pretty much easy now. Should work. As you can see, it's generating a list, and now it's checking there's only one URL because I only checked one, but that's what it should do. And for some reason the payloads, there is a glitch. Oh no, I only have one payload. Okay, cool, awesome. Because we didn't choose SSRF. If we choose SSRF, it would have all the payloads. Because we remember generated word list, that would use all the payloads against the single domain which we used. There you go. Now it's doing that. Okay, but you can customize the patterns for more efficiency, less false positives. So you could put other patterns there, like to grep for. But that's probably better to do that. Let's now brute force. This is a really cool one. I love brute forcing. Let's go against Twitter, and what we need to do is get JS because we need to get the JavaScript to brute force. Let's use SSRF tool, and let's put in the brute option, which is set to true, and I think we need to put the patterns in. Yep, patterns always need to go in, and the payloads, which we'll put ssrf.txt. Let's try that out. Might be the right way to do it. Oh, domain. Sorry, we need to put domain. So domains. Alright, let's have a look at this. This is my most favorite feature, I reckon. Generating links to test it, generating payloads from list. Okay, you need to specify the word list. Now, the parameters word list is what we're going to be used to brute force the parameters with. So I've got one called params.txt. We need to specify a parameter word list, and I've created one specifically for you to use. Let's see now. Generate SSRF word list. Saving JavaScript for later use. It's got a total of 7 JavaScript files. Search forcing. I should probably change that. A few things need to be changed. Now it's actually doing it. So as you can see, it's brute forcing all the endpoints with the parameters. How cool is that? It is so cool. If this was a real life target, you would get some good results. Yeah, it's so cool. But anyway, that's my tool in a nutshell. I still got plenty to go. You can use Subfinder, AMAS. You can even use different programs to fetch JavaScript instead of GetJS. You can use, I think it's Sub.js and things like that. Hope you liked my video. Give me a thumbs up. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And turn on the notification button. And I will catch you later and for future videos.